bright stars through the perilous fight. O'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming. And the against red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
There we go, guys. Welcome to Martinsville Motor Speedway here for RDLTV and this is the truck series for Red Dog Racing. We are on the pace lap right now. The lineup for this race is Hunter Kent, followed by Greg Evans, Todd Guerin, Tim Merchant, Lynn Stanley, Aaron Hutchinson, Christy Petrio, Brandon Puffinger, Thomas Merchant, Corey Hart, Rodney Harris, Brooks Morris, Roger Stanley Jr., Alan Piazza, Ben Manning, and Laura Lawson. We are going green next time by. Lights are off on the pace car. And here we go, guys. Coming out of turn 4, Hunter Kent will bring him to the flag. Looks like the 7 got a great restart of Hunter Kent, but the 2 of Greg Evans is right behind him. Looks like we had some contact farther back in the field. As Hunter Kent leads lap 1. They're pretty much single file behind him going into turns 1 and 2. This race is going to be fast-paced, quick, and there's not going to be a lot of strategy that plays in. It's going to be mainly about your driving style, how well your car's set up, and how well you can run this track. Hunter seems to have pulled away from the number 2 of Greg Evans and seems to have a comfortable lead over the rest of the pack. The 7, the 2, and the 8 seem to be running the same pace, and 4th place on back seem to not be able to catch back up to him. When we go back to qualifying, it looked like Hunter Kent had a very, very fast, dominant car in this race. Okay, caution's out on the racetrack. And Corey Hart has crashed. It looked like he just lost it coming out of turn 2. He got impacted by another car, but didn't seem that there was any damage. It's only minimal damage on that orange truck. So rough break for the number 23 car, Corey Hart, who looked like he was going to have a strong race today. He's going to bring it on back around and try to get it, fixed by the end of the race. Pit strategy is going to be interesting here, being it only the 7th lap of the race. Really, tires aren't worn that bad, but since this is a short track, tires do wear a lot faster than most tracks. So it'll be interesting to see who stays out and who comes. I would expect to see the top 4 or 5 cars stay out. It would not surprise me if, 6 on back actually came in and just try to make a run at those top 5 guys. And Corey Hart currently being scored in 11th place after that accident. And we do have takers down pit road. Looks like the 61, the 33 have come down pit road, along with a couple others. It was a close race off pit road. It looks like there's impact. Looks like the 33 is going to beat off the 61, though. Still single file, probably 2 to green. If the lights go off on the pace car, it'll be 1 lap to green and they will line up double file and be ready for the restart. Yes, it does look like there was contact coming out right there. That was, looks like they could have been cleaner there because of that, but not bad overall, I guess. Shows these guys really want to win and they'll take every position, even on pit road. Try as hard as they can to get that position. Being Martinsville, extremely hard to pass. And really got to take your biggest advantages on the restarts, which is what we're about to do right here. As the pace car takes left turn down the pit road. Here they come, out of turn 4. Hunter Kent once again will lead them, followed by the number 2 of Greg Evans and the number 8 of Todd Guerin. Here they go. The number 2 seems to start up extremely well with the number 7 of Hunter, but just really can't seem to stay there, as we have close, tight quarter racing back in the pack. Looks like the battle for first is actually, the number 2 seems to be able to figure out what Hunter's strategy was, as he's able to keep up with him. Looks like they're going to drop back into single file for the most of the pack. The pack seems to be winding down here as the 7, the 2, and the 8 have just seemed to be the dominant cars of the race. Very little racing going on the track right now. Mainly single file all the way around. Next time by will be lap 14, or 15, pardon me. Brandon Pumbinger back in 10th. He's having a pretty intense battle here with the 33. With Brooks Morris, and I think Brooks is going to get that position. He is now 9th and about 4 seconds behind the lead. Looks like the number 61 of Alan Piez is going to make a run at Brandon now. Spinning in two. No huge crash. Coming off at 2. Looks like there's going to be 3 cars involved. Sorry about that, everybody. Minor technical difficulties, but we're back now. Everything seems to be good. This is the second caution of the race, coming back at lap 16. What seemed to have happened was the number 40 just got loose coming out of 2 and collected the number 40 of Aaron Hutchinson. Yeah. Aaron Hutchinson got loose and collected some other cars coming off of turn 2 there. That was what caused the accident. This car seemed to be roughed up a little bit, but it's early in the race. Probably be able to get that fixed, and hopefully you can continue and contend for a win here. Hunter Kent seems to be bump drafting the pace car, trying to get some extra fuel mileage out of that car. Or that's probably what his excuse is going to be, as he bumps the pace car down the backstretch. So, as we get ready for this next restart, the top 5 will be Hunter Kent in the number 7, the number 2 of Greg Evans, the number 8 of Todd Guerin, the number 44 of Chris DiPietro, and the number 29 of Glenn Stanley. It seems that the number 7, the number 2, and the number 8, like I've said before, have just seemed to be the dominant cars in this race. It'll be interesting to see what the number 2 does on this restart, as he's been able to stay with Hunter on the first lap, but he can't seem to hang on after that. Let's see if he's figured out a different strategy as we come to the green.
Green flag, green flag.
Green's in the air. Ooh, the number 2 beats the 7 to the start-finish line. And the number 2 gets a huge jump on Hunter. I don't think he'll be able to clear him as they come out of 2, though. Actually, yes, he does clear him coming out of 2 as they dive bomb into turn 3, the new leader, number 2. Caution is out on the racetrack. It looks like Thomas stopped on the track, and that is what brought out the caution. The number 18 seemed to have blown a clutch or blown part of the engine, because he just came to an absolute stop right there to bring out that caution. We're not for sure what happened to that engine, but something stopped running on the number 18 Chevrolet Silverado. Don't think that'll be fixable. He was moving off the track, but I don't know if he's going to be able to have that fixed or not. If that's what we think it is, he might be out of the race. Unfortunate for him. As we look back up front, it is the number 2, followed by the number 7 and the number 8. The number 2 seemed to have jumped the restart that last time and gotten ahead of Hunter before the start-finish line, it'll be interesting to see how Hunter reacts to that, considering that's not necessarily illegal. And then you really can forget about the number 8, who hasn't made a challenge for the lead, but hasn't necessarily dropped back either. I think if he really wanted to, he could get up there pretty quickly. Alright, here they are, 2 by 2. This will be the restart. Pace car takes the dive bomb down to pit road. Here they come, out of 4 for the restart.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag's in the air. Number 7 spins his tires, does not get a good restart. That allows the number 8 to get underneath Hunter for second. Number 2 gets a pretty decent lead coming off 2 after that restart right there. Oh, and we have a crawling wall back. Oh, number 7 gets booted out of the way for the 3rd position. This is tight racing and a little too bumpy. Oh, and we have a spin off of 2. '29 is Sun coming off 2 and cannot seem to get it plowed back up. He's stuck in the wall and can't seem to get out. That is going to be disastrous. That is awful for that 29 to Glenn Stanley. He was in 10th position before that had happened. Now it looks like his day is going to be over. But no caution is out. The number 2, the number 8 are still duking it out for the lead. Hunter, after getting punted in the back on the second lap of that restart, is trying to challenge his way back, but has got a lot of room to make up. And it looks like the number 29 at Glenn Stanley had to tow his truck back to the back because it would not woe up after he was stuck on the racetrack. Looks like the battle of 2 in the 8 is getting pretty intense, but we have a lapped car of the number 23 who is right ahead of them. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. Looks like the 23 is just trying to stay out of the way there. Oh, he comes up, almost got into the 8. Glenn Stanley's back out on the track. Good to see him back out here and contending for the win here at Martinsville International Speedway. After that incident with the lap car, it seems the 7 has managed to catch back up to the leaders to a reasonable distance. Oh, pile up! Caution on the racetrack. Multiple cars involved on a huge pile up. 24 at the back of the 23 caused the spin. 14 got him. It was just a massive pile up here coming out of 2. 64 is involved. So it looks like Corey Hart is in it. '23 is in another accident, and that 61 machine, or 64 machine, sorry, looks messed up. Looks like the number 6 got into 23 in the turn. Chris DiPietro got into the number. Got into the 23 going into the turn. Might have locked the brake up. Not for sure what happened there. It could have either been old tires or brake locked up. But here we have takers down pit road, starting with the number 33. Followed by Glenn Stanley was come back out onto the racetrack, was 4 laps down, currently in the 12th position. He's going to stay out on the track, try to get one of those laps back, after that awful disaster where his car would not get moving off the track. And it looks like Glenn Stanley will indeed get the wave around. Here they go, coming off pit road. Looks like it'll be the 33, will be the first person off pit road there. Now the top three drivers, they were kind of separated after that last restart, but that was just because of some incidents. And it looks like we have a car stopped on pit road. No, they got going. Never mind. All's good. The top three cars after that last restart incident kind of got spread apart, but seeing that, you know, they are all bunched up together, this is going to be an intense restart. Now, you don't know what could happen. 8's going to line up on the inside, 2 was outside, and 7 will have the inside. Chris DiPietro has got some serious damage. It'll be amazing to see if he's even able to keep half the pace these cars are going with that much damage. He has got extreme rear suspension damage. I don't know how he's even managed to go, but here we go. Coming back to the green. Going into turn number 3. The number 33 is lined up on the outside of the 7. He has fresh tires. The 8, the 2, and the 7 do not. Here they go for the restart. Number 8 dive bombed it down into the corner. Got an awesome drive off. But the number 2 seemed to have kept with him as the number 2's looking inside, does not take it. Here's the number 7 looking for second. As the number 8 will lead lap. Looks like Todd Garrett's the man to beat right now. He is currently leading with a pretty comfortable lead after that restart. It looks like the number 8 doesn't get into the corner as well as the 2 and the 7, but managed to just pull off extremely hard. I don't see how it's going to be hard to beat that, considering that's really what counts down these long straightaways. Still looks like a 3-man race up, followed by the number 33 with some slight right front damage. Probably throwing off his arrow, not making him be able to contend as fast as other top cars can. Here we are driving with Corey Hart in the number 8 position. He is 1 lap down. All he really needs is a wave around to be in contention for the win here. As things are pretty much the same up front, really single file all the way back, no real battle for position on the track at this moment. Here we are. Glenn Stanley's moving upfield. Yes, Glenn Stanley get that lap back. He's now in 10th. Yeah, Glenn Stanley is laps down. Lapped car out of the way of the leaders. Brandon Puffenbarg, he seems to be struggling. He is 4 laps down in 11th with a lot of damage. It's going to be interesting to see how his night plays out as we have a battle for second. The number 7 clears him. Clears the number 2 by a huge amount. Looks like he's going to go up and try and take the lead. The number 8 doesn't seem to be all that worried. He's able to just, it's amazing how hard he can just pull off the corners. The number 7 and the number 2 were able to get to his bumper on entrance, but when it really comes to drive off, he's got the horsepower it takes here. The number 7, Hunter Kent, is nearly 3/10 of a second behind the leader. pretty much single file throughout the entire racetrack. Let me read off the lineup for you guys. We have in first place the number 8 of Todd Gehring, second place the number 7 Hunter Kent, the third place the number 2 of Greg Evans, fourth place number 33 of Brooks Morris, who has fallen back 4.7 seconds even on his fresh tires. And you have Aaron Hutchinson in the number 40 rounding off the top 5. And then in 6th you have Roger Stanley Jr. who is 10 seconds behind. And then the last car on the lead lap, the 7th place, the number 61 of Alan Piazza. The next, there are 2 cars 1 lap down, 1 car 3 laps down, 1 car 4 laps down, and then 1 car 7 laps down. Not much is happening up front, kind of the same story, 8 pulling off, 7 getting in. Number 2 looks like he's right there with Hunter. Looks like wherever Hunter goes, the number 2 will go. Brooks Morris back and forth has actually managed to close up a little bit of that gap, but he's still got a long way to go. Going back to Aaron Hutchinson, who has a lot of damage to that truck, but is still chugging along in 5th, 6 seconds behind the lead. Uh-oh, the 8 and the 7 and the 2 up at heavy lap traffic. Looks like they got 1, 2 cars in front of them as the 8 goes to pass the number 23, make him another lap down. The 7 really isn't able to capitalize that much, considering the number 23 just kind of let him by. 8's going to try the inside on this next lap car. Gives him plenty of room. 61. Oh, we have a spin. The number 2 car spinning. The number 2 spins and manages to save it after making a slight impact with the wall. It's amazing that the official did not throw the caution, as that was a pretty heavy impact. Now that we go back and look at the replay, there could have been any types of debris that could have fallen on the track there. Hopefully one of these cars doesn't find it and bring out the caution by having a tie go out or something like that. We are coming to complete lap 57 of 140. As number 8 and number 7, just kind of same old story up front. Then you got Thomas Merchant, the 7th, 2 laps down in the 18 car. Was looking for a better run today, but I mean, you know, top 10, not bad. You would have liked to have seen a win, but looks like number 7's challenging again. 8 gets loose. 7 goes for the lead. 7's on the inside. Takes the lead. Oh, we have caution out. Caution is on the track. What a perfect time for the number 7 to make that pass. Looks like at a spin off of 2, we had 1 car very, very close to making contact, but managed to stop it and blow it down before front. The 88 spins, and the 40 of Aaron Hutchinson almost makes rear end contact, which would have just been disastrous. Yeah, it looks like the 88 just lost it coming off too. All that front damage throwing off his aero package, and is really just going to affect that car for the rest of the race. He's going to have to make extreme fixes to that car for it to even be raceable from now on. Here comes the leaders on pit road. The 7 is coming in, followed by the 33. Roger Stanley and Glenn Stanley have opted to stay out, along with another car. That's going to be interesting to see what happens. I know, I was... Here comes Roger Stanley in pits. Alan Piazza follows Roger Stanley on the pit road. Both trucks need repair here at this little bitty track. Lots of damage. Going to be interesting to see if they can get their cars fixed up enough to continue. Every point counts in this championship. They know that. We know that. It's extremely intense and extremely important in this part of the season. It looks like the 29 is going to get a lap back, but the leader is going to be the number 8, the number 2, and then the number 7 here on this restart. We're 2 to go now, or 1 to go. Sorry, 1 to green. 61's coming off pit road.
Green flag, green flag.
And we're green. The number 8 gets a very good jump on the number 2, manages to clear him. The number 7 is right there behind him. Same old story up front. The 8, the number 2, and the 7 as there's contact between the number 2 and the 7. Man, the drive off, the pure speed and horsepower that number 8 car has is just amazing. He can pull half a second on the 2 and the 7 in just one corner. It's truly outstanding. Number 8 has got his car set up. As the 2 and the 7 are having their own little battle, as the 7 can get there, he can get a sniff, but he can't quite complete the pass. So you have the number 8 of Todd Guerin, the number 2 of Greg Evans, the number 7 of Hunter Kent, and then still the number 33 back there in a solid fourth place of Brooks Harris. And then you have number 40, extremely damaged, Aaron Hutchinson in the 5th place. The 33 and the 40 are having a pretty good battle. They're both 2 seconds behind the leader, followed by Roger Stanley Jr. in the 6th place, 3 seconds behind the leader. And you have the last car in the lead lap in the 7th place of Alan Piazza, 12 seconds behind the leaders. Looks like things have kind of sorted out as the number 7 overdrives it into 3, almost loses that truck right there. That's going to be because he was gaining, he managed to drop the pass, make it on the number 2, and was looking to come forward, but that is really going to hurt him considering of how hard it is to even just catch up to that 8 car, let alone pass him. Looks like we have a car in the pit road, not for sure what that problem's for, probably fixing damage from a previous incident. Eight car has made comfortable lead, coming to halfway right here, lap 70 of 140. And right along with Roger Stanley Jr. and the number 28 car. Looks like the 33 seemed to have had slight problems. Think he got them under control though. As the number 33 and the 40 seems to have caught up to the 33. The 40 seems to not be able to restart very well, but he managed to seem to be pretty good over the long run and is able to give the 33 a run for his money. As you ride along, Aaron Hutchinson, who is 5th, 6 seconds behind the leader. The number 8's comfortable lead seems to be slowly dropping as the number 2 has fallen way back from the number 7. About 1 second, where just a couple laps ago he was right on his butt. As caution has come out on the racetrack, looks like we have takers down pit road, the number 8, the 7, and the 2. The 33 is opting to stay out, which means he will inherit the lead and get those bonus points for leading them laps. Sorry about those technical difficulties. We are now back live with you here at Martinsville Speedway on Red Dog Live TV. Looks like the 33 has opted to stay out, along with the number 8 of Todd Guerin and Roger Stanley Jr. They are on old tires, extremely old tires. It'll be really crazy up front when you, actually the 33 is coming down now. Looks like the 33 just wanted to lead that lap and just come on down pit road to refuel and to get some good tires. Looks like the 8 has beat the 7 off pit road. They come off in the order that they went in. Okay, yeah, we have 2 cars on the lead lap that did not come in and take tires, and then you have the rest of the pack that did take tires besides the lap down cars. This is going to be extremely hairy when you got guys a lot faster behind guys that are a lot slower on those older tires. And then fuel's also going to be a thing to watch. Will they have enough if we go on a long green flag run? Because if they have to pit under green, that's going to be extremely costly at this small track. You could lose 3-4 laps just coming in for a normal pit stop. Looks like the number 28 and, no, pardon me. Here we come, coming to the restart into turn 3. Pace cars down. You've got the 40 of Aaron Hutchinson up to 3rd, followed by the number 28. Green flag is in the air once again at Martinsville Speedway. Number 8 and the 7 got identical restarts, but the 8 has managed to clear the 7, dive bombing it into turn number 1. The 7 managed to get their run off the 8 this time and is looking to the inside for the lead. Never mind, opts against it. Decides just right along for a little bit. As we look at the 28, he seems to be on a charge here at Martinsville Speedway. Seems to be very fast on entry, but can't quite get the drive off on exit. Seem to be pretty much single file throughout the entire pack, just trying to sort everything out and then race later. Roger Stanley Jr. up to 12th. Or pardon me, Roger Stanley Jr. is up to 4th, 1.8 seconds behind the leaders. Number 2, Greg Evans, who has been competing for the lead and for the 2nd place all day, is mired back in 4th, 2.3 seconds back behind the leaders. The number 8 seems to be increasing his lead on the number 7 here as we have completed more laps after this restart. What seems to be different in the 8's line is he will take it and he will not really dive bomb it, just kind of ease it in the corner and really ride the bottom. Hunter seems to be kind of in the middle of the racetrack and driving in really hard, but can't quite get it off the corner as well as the 8 can, which is what causing the number 7 to lose more ground. Looks like the number 7's decided to take the same line as the number 8. Maybe, you know, he's learning a thing or two about this leader. Field's pretty much all separated. Single file. It looks like we had a slow car in the back. Not for sure if he was just loose or if he's off the pace. Everybody pretty much sorted out, just riding, waiting, trying to see what their cars have got towards the end of this race now that they have been able to really get a feel for what they've got, see how far they can go, see how long they can go, and see how fast they can go over certain lengths of runs. Towards the end, don't be surprised if you see drivers that haven't been at the front all day that have finally been able to make a run for the money. As number 7 seems to have closed up the lead on the number 8 once again. Doesn't look like number 7 got into that corner as well as the 8 did right there. 8's managed to pull off once more. Looks like we have contact between Alan Piazza and the number 61 and the number 33. I don't think 33 is going to appreciate that very much, considering he has raced 61 pretty clean. Oh, it looks like he got loose coming off that corner there. It's got to be frustrating for that number 7 when you're sitting in a race car, you've been driving your butt off all race, and you can just see the lead. You can see partial victory right in front of you, but you just can't quite get it. It's just being blocked at every turn. There's nothing more frustrating than that as a driver. And the thing that even makes it even more difficult about this track is when you come to this track, you see its length and think, oh, this track's going to be nothing. This is easy. This is one of the hardest, if not the hardest, debated by some drivers as the most difficult track on the schedule. Due to its, size, it has long straightaways, so you can get quite a lot of speed, but there's pretty much no banking in the corner, and you really got to slow it down, or else you'll spin out. Or else you'll wheel hop by braking too hard, or you can lock up your brakes. There's many things that can go wrong here. You really have to manage your brakes, save your brakes towards the end of the race, because if you use them up in the beginning, they're going to be dirt. They're going to be nothing by the end of the race. It takes a lot of practice, a lot of time to really get good at the track like this, and it seems like the leaders have managed to figure out the secret of this tiny track. Got a battle for position, it seems, on the racetrack behind Roger Stanley Jr. Corey Hart slow, trying to make it into the pits, can't quite get there, almost got rear-ended. Trying to make it, you can't really stop like that on the racetrack. You have to let the drivers know which he's in the grass now. He's going to come up, possibly cause it. Nope, he managed to save it. Corey Hart needs to find a way to get off track right now as he's creating an extreme hazard for the rest of the drivers around him. Corey Hart is a great driver. That's not his fault, it looks like. It looks like he's broken something in the truck that's not allowing him to make that turn. I don't know what's going on in that truck, but it looks like it's giving him a lot of problems. Got contact with number 7.
Alright, man, caution is out. Caution is out.
Corey Hart in the number 7. Looks like the 7 got loose, came up into Corey right there. Caution on the racetrack. That is not what any of these drivers wanted to see right there. Especially the number 7. Yep. Looks like the 23 and the 7 had contact going into the corner, and the 7 just around. Extreme damage to the back of that race car. Looks like the number 7 just kind of drifted up a little bit into the quarry and kind of lost it going into the corner. Hunter swung wide, clipped the left front of Corey's truck, and that was all it took to end his day, pretty much. Corey Hart, 5 laps down, not what he wanted to see, adding more damage to his truck, and definitely not what the number 7 wanted to see, as he was contending for a win there. And we have takers down pit road, the number 8 and the number 33 truck, followed by I feel pretty bad for those car owners. They're going to have to spend a lot of money to fix all the damage on these trucks. When you come here, you're just pretty much going to have to expect that types of racing. Looks like the body shops are going to be busy tomorrow. I feel bad for those guys. They're going to have to be working overtime. If you leave Martinsville with almost no scratches or no dents, you should go buy yourself a lottery ticket, because that is almost impossible to do. When you come here, you better just expect to have damage in some part of your car, because it's extremely hard to not get in any trouble at this track, as it being a short impact based racing type track. Looks like the number 7 has managed to keep his truck in second place. I don't know if he's going to be able to contend anymore with that much damage, but you never know. All these drivers are here because they're very skilled and very good at what they do. Let's see if Hunter has managed to come back from what has just happened. Lap 108 of 140 being completed here, as they are 1 to go. Coming out of 4, they will take the restart. The lineup will be the number 2 of Greg Evans, the number 7 of Hunter Kent, the number 40 of Aaron Hutchinson, and the number 8 of Todd Guerin. Todd Guerin is not used to being that far back in the pack. He's been up in first or second pretty much the whole race, so it'll be interesting to see how he handles this. Green flag, green flag. The 7 and the 2, pretty much identical restarts. The 8 managed to clear Aaron pretty quickly, as he's going to try to make work on the number 7 and the number 2. 33 seems to be going around the number 40 now. The damaged runner's Kent card, number 7, doesn't seem to be having much effect on him. He has managed to stay with the leaders. Keep pace. Here comes the 8 car looking for the lead. The 40 seems to be with the 8 car. He might try to get up there and make it a race as well. Then farther back, we have a battle, a big cluster of people for a huge battle back there behind the fourth place car. And that was all full position, as we now have 9 cars on the lead lap. The number 2 and the number 7 seem to be in their positions. The number 7's a good jump on the 2 right there, but just can't seem to make it to drive off, as the number 8 seems to be having a difficult problem closing the ground there. The number 8's Colin is waiting for a time to pounce. He's waiting for an opportunity. Is the 7 or the 2? If they make a mistake, the 8 will be there to capitalize on it. If they don't, the number 8's going to have to just try to bypass those 2 drivers' skills, which is insanely high. When you get to a track like this, setups help, but driving is what really counts, as the number 7 is going to take the lead coming off 4 and lead. No, the number 2 will lead that lap, as the number 7 is still trying to, oh, they make contact. The number 8 is under the number 2 and the number 7 and manages to take the lead after that. This is close short track racing. The number 7 trying to make it work on the outside, can't do. They'll fall back behind the number 2 as they'll come off the 8 car, the 2 car, and the 7 car for 1, 2, 3. 7th car was not happy about that, trying to do everything he can to get back towards the lead. He's going to go below the 2, see if he can make it work. Caution on the racetrack. Looks like the 88 came in way too hot and just took out the 14 in that unfortunate event right there. That was the 88 of Brandon Puffinger, who was 5 laps down. That seems to be what happened. The 88 drove it in too deep, takes out the 14 car of Tim Merchant, who was 45 laps down. On the further evaluation, looks like the 14 didn't give the 88 a lot of room, but the 88 did seem to drive it in a little difficult. That looked just like kind of like a racing accident. 88 drove it in, 14 didn't give a lot of room. Looks like that was just a racing accident. Many of those will happen at Martinsville, as it is a high-impact type of track. I don't expect to see those kind of accidents done with yet, considering we're coming down to 20 laps to go here at the Martinsville Motor Speedway. 20 laps would be quite a distance at most other tracks. But here, they will go by in a blink of an eye. If you have a truck that can contend for a win, you better get it up there fast, and you better get it up there safely and clean, because you won't have a lot of extra opportunities after this restart right here. Lights are out of pace car. They are looking for the restart right here as they're double file going into 3. The pace car comes out onto pit road as the number 18 of number Thomas Merchant. I haven't seen him here all day, but he is up at the front in second, followed by the number 2 and the number 7. Looks like the number 18 did not get that well of a restart. The number 8 and the number 2 and the number 7 managed to come back in 1, 2, 3 spots. 18 falls in line. After the restart, the top 5 will be the number 8, the number 2, and the number 7, and then the 18 of Thomas Merchant and the number 40 of Aaron Hutchinson. There are 9 cars on the lead lap. The first car, 4 laps down, is Brandon Puffinger. Don't know if he'll have much of a chance to get back in it, but it looks like he has a very fast truck today. The 2 seems to be giving the 8 a run for his money, seems to be very fast, seems to be up close on him, and the number 7's watching that. If these 2 start battling or get side by side, they will slow up, and that will allow the number 7 to get closer and hopefully try to contend for a win. makes heavy contact with the wall coming off turn number 2. That allows the number 7 to maybe get a nose in. Nope, can't quite fit it in there. That allowed the number 8 to get a little bit more distance out in front of these 2 other cars. We have a car coming off pit road that doesn't seem to be interfering with the leaders. The 29 of Glenn Tinley managed to make an awesome rebound in 7th on the lead lap, 6 laps behind, or 6 seconds behind the leaders. The number 2 makes heavy contact with the wall. The 7 is spinning. Caution is out. The number 2 got loose coming off of turn number 2, and the number 7 made... Looks like Hunter made contact with the 2 going into the corner, roughed up the 2. The 2 bounces off the wall and gets into Hunter. Looks like Hunter didn't know he was that close to the number 2 and just flipped him, got into him. That's probably going to ruin the day for both those drivers. The number 7 came down pit road for damage, but the number 2 is going to come in as well with the 8 staying out. Pit strategies coming into play as we are on lap 127 out of 140. The number 2 and the number 7, who have been contenders all day, are now mired back in the pack. It's going to be interesting to see if they can make their way back up with such a short time left. The 8 is on older tires, but has a pretty good lead on the other 2 main contenders that have been contending for the entire race. Looks like lights are out on the pace car. Next time they will cross the start finish line. It will be the, oh wait, no, lights are still on the pace car. They will go another lap under caution. Now lights are out on the pace car. Pace car will take the right or the left-hand turn down on the pit road, and coming out of 4 will be the restart. The 8, the 33, the 29. The number 7 gets into the back of the 29 car, as that was a rough restart for everybody at the front, as it looked like. This is where you got to get the positions on a restart like this. You got to fight hard, try to get the spots, because they aren't going to be as close to you to pick up as they are in this restart. 33 tried to take a shot at passing the 8, but overdrove the corner and was not going to be able to be close enough for another attempt at the next corner. And we have a crash. We have a caution. Looks like the number 2 got hit by the car. Looks like the 2 got hit by the Aiden car, sent him around, got into the 19. Oh, it's just many cars involved, managed to not get quite past all that carnage. Multiple cars involved that we have a late race caution here on lap 133 of 140. As we're running along with Alan Piazza. Yeah, just innocent bystander on that crash right there. Looks like the 2 got hit, sent up, and was right into Alan Piazza after that crash right there. That's upsetting to see, considering the number 2 has been contending pretty strongly this entire race. Looks like, yeah, it looks like in the turn they were having previous contact, just going a little bit too hard right here, that these cars can handle. It's very easy to get car sideways when you get into the back of them, especially in a corner like that. Down to 5 laps to go. We will go green before the race is over. There will not, the next caution will end the race. If they manage to go green from here on out, it will be a green flag finish. So the lineup is going to be Todd Guerin in the number 88 to 33 of Brooks Morris, the number 29 of Glenn Stanley, and the number 7 of Hunter Kent, and the number 40 of Aaron Hutchinson. That will round out the top 5. Lights are on this car. It'll probably be next time by when they go green. Looks like the 61 is at pit road. Oh no, he is just coming out of pit road. Probably got some damage fixed and got some fresh tires to try to see what he can do at the closing laps of this race. And the pace car will turn left into pit road. This will be the final restart of the race. Here we go. We're going to try to see who can keep up with the number 8 or maybe beat him.
Green flag.
Green flag is in the air. Looks like the 8, the 33, side by side. 33 overdrives it way out, hits the wall. Looks like the 29 is going to be in second now. Oh, we have a crash back in the pack. Caution's out. Race is over. That will round up this race line at Martinsville Speedway. The number 8 will take the checkers in this lap. The number 29 of Glenn Stanley will finish second. Amazing rebound for him. And the Hunter Kent will finish third with that damage. After that, it will be the 33 of Brooks Morris, the number 5, or the number 2 in 5th place of Greg Evans, 6th place number 18 of Thomas Merchant, 7th place number 28 of Roger Stanley Jr., 8th place number 40 of Aaron Hutchinson. Oh yeah, it looks like the 2 hit the 28 right there to bring up that caution. If we go back and watch exactly what happened. Looks like the 28 came up into the 2 actually, because a slower car caused the 28 to come up into the 2. Race at the end got a little wild. Martinsville short track timbers flare, and that will bring out the checkered flag, and that will be the end of the night's race. The winner, Todd Guerin. He will stop on the racetrack to celebrate his hard-earned win on the track. The number 8's celebrating a hard-fought win here at Martinsville Speedway. The number 8 continuing to celebrate his win at Martinsville. What a hard track this is. He managed to dominate it with poise. Such an impressive run by the number 8 of Todd Guerin. Goodbye, good night from RDL TV. Hopefully we'll see you next time.